Hi, and welcome to week 3 with Attract Clients and Connect Authentically. And I'm so excited to be here for week 3, and I'm really hoping by now many of you have already done your one-on-one session with me and had some really great aha moments and also some revelations about what you want to be doing. And maybe some of you already knew what you were doing, but now have a clearer vision of the direction that you want to actually be going into. And I think that all of us have a perspective on what it is that we want to actually be doing, but we sometimes circle around the actual point that we want to drop in on and actually choose. And I think choosing is just super hard, because whenever you choose one thing, you're not choosing something else. So I just want to give you a different perspective on that actually choosing what your why is, choosing the thing that comes from your heart, is something that speaks to you throughout many things that you do in your life. It's not just generated about one specific thing. And I think the best example of that for me to give to you is talking about myself. So something that I've been saying for a really long time is that no voice is too small to be heard, and that you should lean into your wisdom, tap into your wisdom. Those are comments that I've been making for a really long time. And the reason for it is because for me, it took such a long time for me to be able to get comfortable and trust myself enough to be able to do that. And so it sort of is an interlacing theme pretty much in everything that I do. It's a really important piece of this workshop, and pretty much in everything that I talk about and the work that I do with my clients, whether they want to work on their intuitive skills or the not, even when I'm just working with somebody coaching, not necessarily mentoring them for psychic development, mentoring them. I always talk about leaning into your intuition and trusting that voice that's on the inside, and building up that inner game that you have to be able to anchor into those feelings. And a really good example is this outfit that I'm wearing, this dress. And I hovered over the button a couple of times because I was concerned it was too loud, or I was concerned that this one might like it. And then I just decided, well, I sort of like it. It makes me smile. And I bought it and I'm wearing it. And I've gotten more compliments on this dress today than I think I have in some of my other outfits that I think are more classic and more safe. So sometimes just trusting your intuition is, not sometimes for me, all the time, trusting my intuition is the way to go. And even in that space, I hesitated a little, because for me, it's relatively new to be able to really hold on to that trust for that. And the truth is that, 10 years ago, I wasn't doing that. I was asking everybody and everything on the outside of me for their opinion about what they thought, right down to what should I make for dinner, and was making myself crazy trying to please everyone on the outside, but not actually listening to myself and what I wanted to do. So all of this personal growth work that we are interested in and that we like to do is an ability for us to learn more about ourselves, so that when we ask our clients to learn more about themselves and for them to anchor into the things that they need to do to move forward and to get past some of those spaces in their lives, our clients' lives, where they're stuck, to be able to move forward. I almost feel like, how do you have the right to ask anybody to do anything when you haven't been courageous enough to step into that space and do it yourself? And I think on some level, all of us have done that. And for me, I know I'm probably never going to be done doing that. I think there's always something else and some deeper meaning to something else. It's just the way that it is. But what I really wanted to talk to today is, I touched on it a little bit, was I was talking a little bit about, obviously we talked about the why, and we talked about why that is such an important piece of the puzzle. And what I wanted to break down today was talking about connecting the dots to your why. And I think the best thing that I can do to explain that is, recently I started to do work with soul plan reading. And one of the reasons why I did it was because I have this philosophy that I think everyone has a destiny, and are things that we are naturally good at. We have characteristics and potentials that we currently have right now, and that we're naturally good at them. And some of us ignore those things, and some of them tune right into those things. And soul plan is a way of looking at all those characteristics and the things that we do naturally well, the things that we are gifted with, you know what I mean? And provide guidance on how to expand on the things that we do naturally well, and guide us and to use the things that we consider to be challenges, and learn how to use the things that are our natural gifts to be able to get a deeper connection to what our soul's purpose is. And to me, that's really important. And when you align with a deeper meaning to what your soul's purpose is, you really feel like you are in the right space and in the right place. And even if you find out, yeah, I really am in the right place, it is such a sense of fulfillment to know that, I learned about that about myself, I knew about that about myself, but here's more. Here's more information that I didn't know, how I can actually use the gifts that I have to even get even deeper. And so that was the reason why I started doing Soul Plan. And I think, so again, that's my why, and now I'm expanding on it, and there's a reason. There's always a reason for me about why I do what I'm doing. And so when I look at those reasons and I look at the characteristics about why I'm doing what I'm doing, it all stems back to my original why. But what I want to talk about today, and I started to allude to it just a couple of seconds ago, I'm sorry, I went off at a tangent, is now that we know why, and we know that our clients are attracted to our outcomes of the story that we create, that we had. So you have a thing that happened to you, this is the outcome, the positive outcome. They're attracted to your story and what that positive outcome is. They want that for themselves. So how do you attract somebody? How do you call those clients in who want that journey? The journey that you just took, the journey that you've taken. How do you do that? Well, you do that by explaining and highlighting the story about the pain points that you went through, and connecting the dots between here, here, and here, so they can actually visually see them getting to the point of where you are in your goal. And so when we create programs with those pain points in mind. to get them from one space to the next space to the next space. So now, as coaches, most of us know this. We know this already. We've been told this already. But when you want to gain a relationship with a client on that first initial conversation, you don't really want to highlight so much about your pain points because it's very intimidating. But at the same time, you want to explain to them and really highlight that it doesn't just happen in a moment. It didn't just blink your eyes and you went from this place of despair to this place that you're in right now, and that the space that's in between happened in the blink of an eye. You sort of want to allude to the fact that there were these systematic steps that happened, and that you can take them through those steps to get to the goal of what they desire. And so the work that I would like to introduce now is creating those steps and allowing yourself to become vulnerable enough to be able to explain those steps in a way that's comfortable to you, so that you can explain to them how to release the places that they're stuck, to be able to move past those stuck points, to get from one spot to the next spot along the journey. Now, between you and me, some people move from point A to point Z in a very systematic, predictable fashion. They have a couple of setbacks and they keep moving forward. Other people are a little more scared. And so the work that you do with them moves at a much slower pace, and you may feel like you never actually get through the entire program. You may have 12 steps, let's just say, and your client gets through the first 3 in 12 weeks. And you think, little critter brain's talking to you thinking, I didn't do such a hot job. But the truth is you did. Because you listened to your client and you allowed them to lead the session and tune into them with rapport and allowed them to create the space that they needed to create shifts. We all know that if you move somebody faster than what they are able, and you're not really listening to what they're experiencing through your program, then they will not be able to create the change that they desire. So when I say create the steps to get to the goal, it's a very loose configuration. And within it, there are certain milestones that people have to reach along the way before you can get to the next step and move them along. And that's when clients re-sign with you, when they continue along with you, right? Because they haven't achieved the space that they want to achieve. And so they need to spend more time exploring those options. So getting from point A to point Z for them isn't going to take 12 weeks. Maybe it'll take 24. Maybe it'll take 36. Maybe more. And you really don't know until you start working with a client and building that rapport and allowing them to let go of those stories that they're telling themselves inside where they're stuck, and not allowing the outside stories of their life to dictate how to proceed, and allows them to get curious about what else they can be doing. And those steps that I just talked about, self-image, relationships, letting go of stories, outside stories, and getting curious, and allowing time for triggers to happen and old patterns to creep in so that you can coach them on what to do when those things happen before they can actually reach the goal that they want. And so what I want to encourage us to do now is I want you to think about the steps that you took and where those 6 or 12 steps are in your process and what you would like your clients to step into or through to be able to get to the goal that your niche is describing. So before you all freak out and think, oh my God, how am I going to do this? There is going to be a live Zoom call where you can bring questions about how to do this. And you're certainly invited on the Facebook group to bring questions there. And I will tune in and answer questions as I need to. And I want to also encourage you that if this feels like so much work and you're so scared and you already had your session, or maybe you're not scared, you're just overwhelmed or confused, and you already had your one session with me, think about doing VIP, where you get 4 sessions one-on-one with me. And one of them could be used like this to get through this space so that you can actually manifest and create the program to set your clients to go through the paces, to be able to get the outcome that they want. And the thing that I want to have you hold on to before I end this video is that whatever experience you have gone through that your client is attracted to and that they themselves want to go through, this is a big one, you hold the unique wisdom on how to do that. And they're attracted to you and will be attracted to you because you hold the keys on how to get through those steps, and you're virtually and systematically connecting the dots from point A to point B and B to C and showing them this is the way you go. This is how you do it. And I want you to hold that in your mind. Because even though you may think that something that you did is important and valuable, but you're thinking, I don't really have wisdom, I'm letting you know that every experience that you go through, no matter how small, holds its own set of wisdom that you hold the knowledge for. When I used to cook, I would stir fry things, and I can't even tell you how many times I ruined a shirt because it would spray on me. And 9 out of 10, I would think to myself, oh, this is the reason why people wear aprons, right? So that they don't get their clothes dirty. But each time I would get my shirt dirty and then say to myself, oh, I need to be wearing an apron. So that was one lesson I never really learned that well. It took me a really long time to understand that. Not I understood it, but actually hold on to that. And I have to tell you, I still sometimes will cook wearing something I like and ruin it because I got stain on it from some food that I was cooking with. And I figured, oh, nothing will happen. I can do this, right? But no. On the other hand, though, if you're so fearful of something happening, you don't do anything. Another example. I have so many different white t-shirts in my closet, and I really don't wear them out to dinner because 9 out of 10, they're going to get dirty. And that's from so many experiences of my white shirts getting dirty. My first retreat that I ever went to in HMBA was to Miami, and I booked the trip, and I was all excited to go, got on the plane, and when I landed, I was in Orlando. Then I had to take this tiny little prop plane from Orlando to Miami, and I finally got to Miami. So you better believe every single time now I want to go someplace and I'm booking it myself, that I don't trick it once or twice or 3 times, then many times I have a friend with me on the phone confirming where I'm going, confirming the airport, confirming what I did, because I'm second guessing myself because I had such a bad experience. I don't know if I'm ever going to get over that one. But I'm just saying. So there's a wisdom that comes from every experience that you go through, every bad experience or positive one. They all hold a set of wisdom for us. And it's about holding on to that wisdom and using that wisdom in a way that's going to help other people reach the goals that you want them to reach. That's what's going to attract the clients. Your journey inspires other people. It's your journey and it's your gift, your fortitude that you went through to get to where you are right now, and your unique knowledge. So look for the meditation. It's coming up. And don't forget about that really great interview. I hope you're really loving all those interviews. I'd love to hear some comments back about them and what they inspire you and how they inspire you in the Facebook chat, or you can message me. And I'm going to sign off now. I know this one was a little longer than usual, but I guess I had a lot of juice to get out. Bye.